Witchers of the School of the Bear are known for being loners. They do not see their fellow Witchers as brothers, but more like rivals. And there is arguably no Bear Witcher who is more of a loner than Ivo of Belhaven. Ivo, presumably, was born in Belhaven to parents that came from further south. At some point in his early years, he ended up in Hern Kadug, the School of the Bear, located in the Elm Mountains. Once he arrived, he immediately had a feeling of hate against his fellow Bear Witcher students. Why exactly, we do not know. But Ivo was always smaller than the other bears. He wasn't a broad-shouldered giant of a man. Instead, he was more agile, resembling the Witchers of the School of the Cat and Viper. Ivo's animosity towards the other adepts resulted in plenty of fights and plenty of spilled blood. But Ivo wasn't always the only one bleeding. He always would manage to do equal damage to his stronger opponents as they did to him. But when it became time for Ivo to set out on a path, after having been mutated, his hostilities towards the other Witchers stopped. In his case, the mutations were very effective, and Ivo didn't feel any emotions. He felt no hate towards his fellow Bear Witchers like when he started out. He now just felt nothing. Out on the path, Ivo would avoid running into other Witchers. He didn't care about them. The news of some of his fellow Bear Witchers passing away did nothing to him. Even the news that a mob of angry peasants was attacking the School of the Bear had no impact on his feelings. He didn't care, he had no emotions. He wasn't planning on helping. But it was inevitable, to happen someday, and eventually Ivo ran across a fellow Witcher of the School of the Bear. Younot of Belhaven, a Witcher said to be the son of a giant and a dwarf. Younot, like Ivo, had taken the moniker of Belhaven. However, in contrast to Ivo, Younot didn't hail from the land. Ivo asked him why he had chosen the same moniker, to which Younot replied by saying he liked the sound of it and he didn't expect Ivo to live for very long. However, the tables turned, and in 1243, Younot took a contract on a Shelmar below the Tuffo vineyard in Toussaint. Younot had taken the contract in order to pay the Grand Master Smith, Tian Sale, to forge him Grandmaster Ursine gear. The need for coin drove Younot to not be as calm and reasonable as he should have been, and he went underground whilst not knowing what he was up against, and he would never see the light of day again. When Ivo learned of Younot's death, he once again felt absolutely nothing. One of the most notable parts of Ivo's life, however, came during the Second Northern War, when Nilfgaard hired him to slay Garni Korra. He went into the swamps of Ithgith to face off against his queen after having done extensive research on her to know what he was up against. But in the swamps of Ithgith he was soon overwhelmed and injured by the hordes of monsters that were controlled by Garni Korra. He managed to fend them off, for a while, and took refuge in a broken down village, which is when, luckily for Ivo, Queen Meave of Lyria and Rivia came along. He fought with her army to slay the beasts that came after him, and informed Meave about the threat Garni Korra posed. He told her about the legends, both elven and human, as well as what he believed was the truth. And after short persuasion, he told her a secret about how to kill Garni Korra. Ivo at first didn't want to tell a secret to Meave, but as he had saved his life, he decided it was a reasonable reason to give her the information. Ivo had realized that he was not prepared to face Garni Korra. He needed a few more days to prepare, to brew potions and blade oils. Meave offered him to ride along with her to Garni Korra to face off against the beast, but Ivo refused. He knew better than to go in unprepared. They went their separate ways, and Ivo vanished amidst the trees. Garni Korra was soon after killed by Meave and her army, but we do not know if Ivo claimed the coin from Nilfgaard for the contract. I assume he did, as if he indeed went back a few days later, he would discover that the Queen of Ithgith was dead. And for bear witchers, everything is about surviving, which is exactly what Ivo planned on doing. We do not know what Ivo did after the Second Northern War, but as it's not very far removed from the games, it is not unreasonable to assume that Ivo is still alive, wandering alone across the vast continent to slay monsters for coin, feeling no emotion in doing so, as was the exact thing Witchers were made for. What do you think of Ivo of Belhaven? Would you like to see him appear again? Till the next video. Bye.